Hi,
How are you?
good. Great to see you. Thanks for being with me.
President Bola Tinubu says his administration is investing in technology to ensure transparency and government accountability as he hosts a meeting with Microsoft founder Bill Gates on how to ensure easy collection of taxes in Nigeria. Mr. Tinubu said this will also accelerate public sector performance and service delivery to the Nigerian people. He stated this during a meeting with Mr. Gates on Sunday on the sideline of the World Economic Forum special meeting in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The president said technology was a potent weapon against corruption and financial impropriety in public services. He expressed his unwavering commitment to delivering reliable technology to support a national consumer credit system and other new critical government interventions for Nigerians. Mr. Tinubu said resistance was often expected when efforts were made to strengthen systems and forestall malfeasance. Technology is the enemy of fraud, corruption, and irregularity. We have been working hard on improving technology. There is always the initial resistance. Corruption, self-interest, and fraudulent activity will always be an enemy. But when you bend that curve, you will receive the benefits, Mr. Tinubu said, recounting how he deployed technology to enhance Lagos revenue base as a governor. Mr. Tinubu said he ensured the collection and use of essential data, creating an efficient tax system for the state. When I was a governor of Lagos State, I faced challenges. I started with 600 million naira and ended up with 8 billion naira. And right now, they are targeting a trillion naira with the use of technology in the state. There is no other shortcut. We must invest in technology. We must focus, be diligent, and work hard, the president said. In his remark, Mr. Gates informed the president of a one identity technological platform that could integrate variegated data while explaining the centrality of data harmonization to planning, security, and tax efficiency. We are working with Mr. Wale Edun, the coordinating minister of the economy and minister of finance, on digitization. Before you came into office, there were a few things attempted in identity management, but they have been very scattered. There have been multiple identification systems. Now, there is plan to take that technology called MOSUP and use it for this identification platform so that people can get digital benefit. We are providing support for that and we can provide more support, he said. According to him, MOSUP ID helps with payment efficiency and bank account. Eventually, when everyone uses that, it makes tax collection easier. The Microsoft founder said that benefit will take a few years. However, there will be more bank accounts, more financial inclusion, and effective government payment program. Mr. Gates believes that Nigeria has the capacity to manage this system and related technological system as the nation brings with talented youth. The last time I went to the Microsoft office in Lagos, I saw the amazing work that we were doing and they were growing their operations. So you have a lot of Nigerian talent to manage this system, he said. Gates also discussed some high-yield seed and variety of crops that have the potential to improve productivity and nutrition in all regions of the country. He said countries like the United States and Brazil have been using this seed and has been tested and certified as safe. There is no safety issues with this seed. Supporting the Minister of Agriculture effort in this regard is something that we feel is important and worth supporting, Mr. Gates said. Now, we're going to analyze two things here. First, the Tinubu tax system and the seed that Mr. Gates is talking about, because there are so many rumors about this so-called seed. But first of all, let us start with with Mr. Tinubu's tax system. During the 2023 presidential election campaign, the handlers of Mr. Tinubu propagated him as someone that raised the IGR of Lagos State from 600 million to 8 to 10 billion naira. And he was being hailed as someone that can raise the IGR of Nigeria. And a lot of persons were excited. But you know, most people are uninformed and they don't really understand what it means to increase the IGR of a state. It is always being said that IGR is not the good, it's not a good model to measure development, because IGR focus more on tax collection, improving tax system. That means what a government does is to ensure that the citizens are taxed and they collect money from the citizens to improve the IGR of a state. It's actually not bad when an IGR is being improved, but what is important is that what is that money being used for? Tinubu developed a system in Lagos that ensure adequate collection of taxes in Lagos. He built a company called the Alpha Beta that is being controlled by his son. The Alpha Beta is responsible for the collection of taxes in Lagos. And when you go to Lagos today, everyone is taxed to the teeth. And that is how they have been able to improve the IGRO of Lagos. But when you measure the indices of development, which is the HGI, you will discover that Lagos State falls short of the human development indices. And that is where Mr. P2B came top in terms of HGI, because he ensured that he improves the overall quality of life of the people. You can improve the IGRO without improving the overall quality of life of the people. So what a leader should focus on is the HGI. The HGI comprises of the quality of education, the quality of life, security, and pulling people out of poverty. Then we also talk about the healthcare system, how people can have access to qualitative healthcare and the quality of life of a citizen. Currently, Nigerian life expectancy is being tagged at 52 years. That means we have a very low life expectancy. So what the government should be looking forward to is how to improve our health sector. You and I all know that the health sector in Nigeria is in comatose. In fact, if you're sick, you have to depend on God. You have to depend on God for you to be healed. Most people don't even go to hospital to run check, because there is no system in place to cater for them. The people who go to the hospital do not even have the money to pay for their hospital bill. So what you need to do is to improve the healthcare of the nation. Another aspect is our education. You're hearing of millions of children are out of school, especially in the north. We have the largest number of out of school children in the world. They look at unemployment and poverty. Millions of persons were thrown into poverty since President Muhammadu Buhari became the president. So when you look at it overall, you will notice that our HGI is very low. Our HGI is very low. So what Tinubu should be looking after is how to improve the HGI of the people. But look at what he's discussing in faraway Saudi Arabia: tax collection. He was hailed as the master of what? Improving IGR. And now he wants to replicate that same model he did in Lagos in Nigeria. So expect to be taxed with whatever thing you are doing. Of course, we are all being taxed. We are all being taxed. When you go to buy a sachet of pure water today, it's being sold for 2 for 50 naira. Before it was 10 naira per one, but it's being sold for 2 for 50 naira. The reason why the price of sachet water has gone up is because the people producing that pure water are being taxed. They are being taxed. The government is collecting tax from them. So they now put the brunt of that tax upon you, the consumer. That is the reason why you're buying a sachet of pure water for 250 naira. And there are other commodities in the market that are out of reach today. You are talking of a bag of rice being sold for 50, 60, 70, 80,000 naira. Why? The people that are producing this rice are being taxed by the government. So everything in Nigeria currently is being taxed. You may not be aware that you are paying tax. But when you go to the market to buy something like pure water, you see how exorbitant it is. That is because the government of the day is concerned about generating more tax. And that is why he's talking about getting a technology that will ensure that no single naira is lost by tax. There's insecurity in the land. Talk about technology that will help to dictate kidnappers wherever they are. Talk about technology that will help to fish out criminals wherever they are. The government is not looking into all these things. All they care about is to ensure that every little money is being accounted for. That is all they care. That is all they care about. It's not a bad thing. But what are you using that money for? What are you using that money for? Look at our educational system. Bring in technology that will help to improve our educational system. Bring in technology that will help to improve the farmers. Bring in technology that will end insecurity. Bring in technology that will make the civil service to be more effective. Bring in technology that will help to stop the oil theft in the Niger Delta. How is Saudi Arabia able to control their oil production without losing a single barrel to oil theft? How are they able to do that? Bring in technology that will improve on all these things. But Tinubu is concerned about taxes. Of course, that is who he is. He did it in Lagos and he's about to do it in Nigeria. You are all going to start paying every single thing you do. You should just be thankful, because I don't think if he has a way, he's going to tax you for the air you breathe. That is the person you voted into power, and you are going to live with that. Now, let us talk about the seat that Mr. Brigade is talking about. Now, what Mr. Brigade is talking about is the GMO, and it stands for genetically modified organism. In other words, GMO seeds are created in labs for desirable traits by injecting seed with genes from another plant. Some of these traits could be withstanding drier weather conditions or harmful insects. Unlike hybrid seeds that are product of cross-pollination, GMO seeds are generated in labs by gene modification. Now, GMOs are relatively new, and like anything new, there are conflicting viewpoints about many issues surrounding the use of this plant. One area that draws a lot of attention is whether these GMO plants and the food that contains them are safe to eat. There is no data to indicate that consumption of GMOs is bad for human health. How do we know? The GMOs have undergone more detailed evaluation than any other group of plants that we consume. Because these plants are being modified in the lab, people are concerned that it does not contain the natural nutrients that most of the organic food that we eat contain. So there's a lot of concern about this thing. There are so many viewpoints about it. Some persons are saying that it is meant to reduce the population of the world by introduction of diseases like cancer, where that has not been proven so far. Everything is just opinion on the social media. Whereas, if you have more important information regarding the GMOs that you want us to know or want me to elaborate, you can drop yours in the comment section and I will definitely elaborate on that. Thank you very much for watching. Please ensure you like, subscribe, and drop your comment reaction in the comment box. I will see you in the next video.